So try to do that side to side cartwheels many times. So I'm going to show you an example with full control. Make sure you do it on a grass, okay, because I'm doing on concrete, but you need to make sure you have full control before you even attempt on concrete. As you can see, it's a workout, not for actually going into flips and so on. Okay, so this is just the sort of workout that you can have for body control and in terms of making sure that you stay fit. So I'm going to show you how to do front to back cartwheel, but many times. Okay, so you need to react straight away. It should look like this. As you can see, that's a side to side, front to back cartwheel, both sides. So it really works your core and your side muscles as well on your abdominals. Now we're going to do that with an axe kick. So as you can see, when you do it with an axe kick, it will develop your muscles at that point. Thank you. Now we're going to have a look at how to do a backwards roll. Now for backwards roll, make sure you have a good forward roll as well. Okay, so have a look at the forward roll tutorial. So forward roll should look like this. It's there. Okay, that's a forward roll. Before you do, make sure you have a forward roll before you do a backward roll. Also, to train it, I'll show you first of all what a backward roll should look like. Okay, again. Now, in order to have a good backward roll, you need to make sure that you first practice the cradle, doing this. Okay, and then try to have your leg above your head, like this. Now the hardest part is to go over. So what you can do is you can do a cheat method. You can go from the sideways. So you could do it like this. You're here and go sideways. Go over one of your shoulder instead of both of your shoulder. So that is like a cheat side roll, but it looks good as well. Okay, so have a look. If you see, I'm going to roll on this side. One-sided roll. Here and roll. Okay, so that's a cheated backwards roll. Now in order to do, I didn't even have to use my hands to push me for the backwards roll. But if you want to do a proper backwards roll, first practice the cheat one so you get over the mental fear. Now, what you can do is make sure you sit down for proper backwards roll. Your hand will be flat like this. When you go backwards, flat. Okay, again, flat. Now what you're going to do is you're going to push when you go backwards, and then make sure you tuck your head in when you're doing it. Here, tuck head in, and you're here. Okay, so that's a good position, backwards roll. Again, if you know, sit down, gather the momentum as you go backwards, flat hand. So first sit down, hand flat, and push over, you're on your feet. Okay, all in one time. Okay, so and that is a backwards row. Now we're going to have a look at backwards roll pistol squats. So this is pistol squats with added roll and coming up on your feet. It puts a lot of pressure on your core and on your the leg that you're standing onto. Okay, so first of all, I'll show you a demonstration how a pistol squats with roll looks like. Now, as you can see, what you need to do is first of all make sure that you have your leg out straight. Now you might not have good flexibility, so make sure you're warmed up and you have done plenty of stretches before you do this move. So first of all, you need to have your legs straight. First, just practice this, just having your legs straight. Alternate the legs, make sure you're training both sides. So right leg and left leg. Make sure you try to hold each of the leg for at least 5 to 10 seconds. If you can hold that, then you'll be able to do your pistol squats with a roll. Now all you're doing is you're mixing with the backwards roll with no hands with pistol squats. So first of all, what I would like you to do is make sure you do this. Okay, keep your legs straight and go backwards and push off from your back hand. Okay, so push off exactly how you did it before with both hands. Okay, so again I'll demonstrate. Straight leg. Okay, squat, go down and push. Once you've got that rolling, because as you can see it's an advanced movement, what you like you to do, you do now you do it same but with one hand. Okay, exactly the same thing. There, leg out, go down, push off with one hand and down. Now you can do it with no hands. So again here, go backwards and push. Okay, so this is really good for conditioning for martial arts and for any combat sport. So it's very good to condition your legs, your core, and overall strengthening your body. Thank you. Today we're going to have a look at on how to do a handstand. So it's a handstand tutorial. Okay, this is what a good handstand should look like. Now if you have noticed, in order to have a good handstand, you need to do, there's a very simple drill that you can practice, and that is just have one of your legs back. Okay, so your lead leg at the front, okay, and your other leg at the back. And what you want to do is reach as far out as possible, and as your hands go up, your hands go down, your legs should go up. So like this. So first do that. Okay? So all you need to do, hands go down, one leg goes up. Now what you want to do is reach and try to have both legs coming up. But not at one go, but like this. So reach and go up. You see how I kept the distance between the legs? That's how I want. So not two of them at one go, keep the distance. So keep on doing that until you're comfortable. Then you can try to keep on going, you can try going higher and higher until you reach into a handstand. Okay, so you can go there. Now you can try to have this leg right over your head. Okay. Once you start having that control, now you can kick the leg up and join the two legs like this. So reach and join the two legs and back down. But when you come down, you need to come down with control. So it's easy to go up, but to control it back down, that's the difficult part. So you do this. Okay? Don't make your legs dangle like this. If you do that, you don't have control. So to avoid injury and to have a nice to make sure you always have a good form, make sure you practice with control. Okay? So you go in with control and you come back down with control. So once you have done the handstand, there's also another important thing. You need to have straight hands. Make sure you have straight legs. When you go up, your hands should be glued to the ears like this. Not actually glued, but it should be straight. Because if you do a handstand like this, that's not a handstand. Okay, you can't do a handstand like this, because that will never reach the handstand. So your hands should be straight, shoulder width apart. Okay, hands should be shoulder width apart. And once you can go up like this, once you have the control, go up and back down. Okay, you can start trying to walk. Okay, you can start walking. The more you walk, the better the balance of handstand you will have. Okay, so once you can go up and you do not have any fear, then you can start walking. Also, another important part is make sure wherever your back leads, that's where you will be. So for example, if your leg let's say that's your leg. If your leg goes this way, if your back goes this, if your back is heading towards this way, that means your legs are going to go and you're going to fall on this side. If your back is more on the alignment of on the left hand side, your legs will come down. So all the control is from your back. Your back controls your handstand. So if your back is straight, okay, you'll have a controlled handstand. So this is what I'll show you what I mean. So if I kick up and look, if my hands go this way, you see my legs, I lost my control because my back was going towards that way. Now if I have my legs coming down on the left hand side, you see it was not there, so I could not have a handstand. So it all depends on where your back is. Okay, so if your back is in alignment, you'll have a handstand. Now once you have a solid once you're comfortable with your handstand, now I'm talking about the walking. So once you can have a straight handstand, start walking. Okay, and there's a good exercise that you can do. You can count. So maybe if you step 1, okay, that's 1, then you can do 2, eventually 3, so like this. 1, okay, now you can count again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so you try to beat your record each time, and then slowly you will have a controlled handstand. Then to just control in the same position your handstand, so without moving, that takes a little bit of time. Okay, you need to first master the walk. Once you master the handstand walk, then it's all about the fingers. So if you want to have a solid steady handstand with no movement, it's all in your fingertips. You need to grab the ground, okay, like this. So grab the ground, see fingertips. So that will have, I would still recommend to make sure that you keep on doing the handstand walks before you do the static handstands. Today we're going to learn how to do plank hops. Now plank hops are quite difficult movement. Okay, it looks quite simple, but it's a little tricky because your whole body is in solid position. Okay, everything's straightened out like in plank position, and you're going to hop. But when you're hopping, you're not allowed to bend. You're just going to use your core, your tightened core, to push you, to make sure you're hopping, and make sure you're breathing, because you can get tired really easily with this movement. So I'll demonstrate how it should look like. First do this. Okay. Okay, so you can actually move with them as well, or you could even try doing it on the spot, just hopping on the spot. This is really good to strengthen your muscles, your core muscles, and your hands, and to make sure that you just develop a lot of power and strength in your body. It's good for chi development. Now you could even do the same thing with elbow, okay, elbow planks, but hopping with elbow planks. Now again, I would recommend to do it on a soft surface. I'm doing it on a hard. If you're a martial artist or a breakdancer or someone who really wants to sort of condition themselves, then you could do it on hard surface as well, but it will still hurt if you do it on a hard surface. So make sure you get the technique right and everything before you start doing this movement. Thank you.
Brahmacharyasana, also known as L-sit, sharpens the mind, increases the willpower and confidence, strengthens the wrists, arms, shoulders, abdominal muscles, reduces belly fat.
So today we're going to have a look on how to do an L-sit. L-sit, I'll show you first of all how it looks like. Okay, now as you can see, this is a little tricky one because you're holding your own body weight. First of all, what I would suggest is if you can do this off the ground, just your legs off the ground and holding the position without lifting. So just hold it and just hold this position. Then next thing, if you're looking for the L-sit progression, I would say you need to tuck your leg. Make sure you tuck your leg and briefly go off the ground, and then drop this up. Okay, hold it for at least 1 or 2 seconds. See if you can be off the ground. Okay, off the ground, drop it down. Now, as you get better and more comfortable with it, you can do single leg. Have up and have one leg out and down. Now, as you get more, if it gets much more easier, you can start holding your L-sit down. You can't. It's very difficult to hold this position for a minute. So you're looking for at least about 3 seconds to 5 seconds, and then gradually progress the duration for it to be longer. But it involves your core a lot. So posture straight legs, toes pointed, and lift yourself off the ground. Now what helps me as well, I've noticed, is your scapula over here, tense it and make sure you curve it in, and that will help you to hold your core as well at the same time. So watch how I do it. The scapula, I sort of curve in. And down. Okay? So the core, make sure you tighten your core and lift your body up and tighten everything while you're breathing. Okay? It's hard to be tense and breathe at the same time, but you have to try and do that. Otherwise you can't last any longer. This is a bronco. So bronco, here's an example of a bronco. Okay, so in order to have a bronco, you need to make sure that you need to have a very good handstand. If you have a good handstand, you are conditioned enough to do bronco. Okay, so before we do to break down how to develop bronco, you need to make sure that there are two elements to it. Firstly, to throw yourself and then coming back. So those are the two elements that you need to work at. When you throw yourself, you need to have a very good knowledge of blocking. Now I'll explain what blocking is. Blocking is very important in tricking or breakdancing. Any movement, you need to understand what blocking is. Blocking is you need to try to get you need to get yourself on an angle so that it is easier for you to smoothly transition in a move. To get height, to get power, you need to know how to block. So for bronco, the blocking is not from the legs. Blocking, we're going to block with our arms using our blocking. So the blocking is what you need to focus on when you're doing the first step is when you throw your hands, you need to make sure that your hand is locked. Okay, when you do any gymnastics move or any breakdancing or anything, your hand need to be locked to avoid any injuries. Also, you need to make sure you warm up your wrist because it puts a lot of pressure on your wrist. So do some stretches for your wrist. So this is a good stretch. You can do one, okay, hold it for at least 20 seconds, then change direction, 2, and lastly this way. This is explained in the stretching guidance. So have a look at the stretching section to get your understanding of how to safely perform a move. Okay, now when you block, you need to make sure that you at least throw more than your half of your body distance. That's a good blocking distance for bronco. So here's an example. So I throw and I come back. Okay? So first of all, you might just focus on getting into a handstand from there. So you throw your hands and try to land it into a handstand. First of all, like this. And come back down. That's fine. You can don't bring 2 foot down. You can bring one leg and one leg down. That's easier. That's to develop eventually when you develop the strength and technique, you'll be able to do a proper proper bronco rather than a sort of another version of a bronco. Okay. So first of all, to practice this move, make sure instead of having 2 foot together like a proper bronco, you're going to have 1 foot. You can choose whatever direction you're comfortable with, either by moving off from your right foot or moving off from your left foot. Okay, so I'm doing it with my right foot. So I have my right foot forward, my left foot backwards. I'm going to throw. I'm going to put a lot of power. I'm going to throw from my back foot and bring all the connect all the power onto my right leg, and it will help me propel into throw my move into a handstand. So here it goes. So you see handstand and bring back down. That's fine. That's the movement you want. Okay, eventually when you get better at it, this is the step 2. Okay, so for step 2 you want to make sure that you're going to block, you're going to be on an angle, you're going to push off from your hands and come back on your feet like this and push. Okay, so you go land and push. So at the moment it might not look like a bronco, but you're building towards a bronco. Now, so keep on practicing with one leg forward. Eventually, when you look smooth, when your bronco is smooth like this, when it becomes effortless, like, okay, when it looks effortless and you can do more than one at a time, so try to do it quickly, another one as well. So you can go 1, come back, 2, come back, throw again. Okay, and as you can see how I keep control of my body. The main thing is about keeping balance and not falling down, and developing good habits to developing muscle memory. So now, to develop a proper bronco, we're going to do the same step how we did for the one-legged, but now we're going to do it with 2 foot. So if you're strong enough now and you're happy to move on to attempting a bronco, same technique. When you're going to throw yourself, again keeping your hands straight, okay, and try to be on an angle so it helps you to use your shoulder to pop back, and you're going to move. So this is how, try one instead of many. Try one bronco, a good one, focus on a good one. So you're going to use your knees to push off, so you need to have a little bend and then do a little dive, okay, and you're going to come back. So here, dive, push off. Again, I'll demonstrate, hands up, okay, and you can try to do it as in straight position as much as possible once you get better at it. So here and back. Now to perform, once you have a really good solid first bronco, you're going to attempt, now you're going to do 2, and then you can build up the numbers for bronco. So now we're going to focus on 2 broncos. Again, good form, make sure you have a nice form. Okay, here, that's 2. Then we can try to aim for 3, 4, 5. Okay, I'll show how 5 looks like. Once you become, it will develop your endurance, power, strength, all at once, and it's a good conditioning move towards more advanced things as well, eventually. For tumbling, will help with tumbling, will help with tricking, with breakdowns, it will help with all sorts. So it's a good conditioning and a nice move to show to your friends as well. So 5 broncos. Today we're going to learn how to do an elbow plank 360 degrees movement. Okay, so before you do that, make sure you can at least hold a plank like this. Now once you can do this, you can start looking into shifting into planks like this. Okay, so when you're shifting, I'm going to demonstrate it. When you're shifting, do not make sure your position is the same. You're keeping the plank position, only your upper body is moving, okay, and your legs falling. It's like a clock, okay, so you're moving like a clock. You're like a minute hand that is moving around. So here's a demonstration. Okay, so you can keep on doing those to strengthen your body. Okay, so you can go 360 degrees elbow plank. Okay, so that will develop strong core, strong back, and also develop your strengthen your forearms as well, and your shoulders. It basically works your whole body nearly. Thank you. Today we're going to have a look at backwards roll with no hands and coming back on our feet. This is a good skill to use in order to develop your core. So I'll demonstrate how it looks like first of all. Now, if you notice, when I go backwards, I use a lot of my core to make into a ball shape, and then I come back up with my foot. The way to train it, there's several ways we can train it. First of all, with our hands. So we can, if you're not confident with them, you don't have strong core muscles, what you could do is first of all, lie down like this, come up and then push, and come back up. Once you get used to it, then you can use one hand. Okay, so you can use one hand. So you here, right, and push up with one hand. Eventually you can use now fingers. Okay, so again roll, use fingers to come up. And now that you're confident enough, you could make sure you roll and quickly come back on your feet. So roll, ball shape, and then come back up. The whole point is when you come up, you need to come up on your toes, not on your flat-footed, but toes. So imagine you're here and toes, and that is the backwards roll with no hands. Thank you. Today we're going to learn how to do donkey kicks. Now, donkey kicks is first of all, even if you don't have a good handstand, this is a good way of building your handstands. Okay, so I'll show first of all how it should look like. Now, if you notice, my hands are always down. I'm using this, engages the core a lot, because all you're doing is bringing your leg up and kicking the leg like a donkey. Okay, you're kicking it with both legs and you're bringing it down in control. This is a good way to build handstands as well. So, but also it's a great workout for the shoulders and the core. So I'll demonstrate it again how it should look like. Even if first you'll probably do that, you'll do this. Okay, you might get scared. Even if it's a little kick, it's fine. Even if you're off the ground like this. Okay, that is fine. Even if you do midway, that is okay. Gradually, you can aim to go higher and higher. So you'll start off like this. Then you can try, as you get used to it, go up a little bit. And then up again. Okay, so this controlling and having your balance while you're doing the kick really works the core. Okay, so those are the donkey kicks. Thank you. Right, so today we're going to learn how to do a hand hops. Now, hand hops, you're going to learn how to do a two-handed hand hops. So in this case, I assume that you have a really good handstand. You need to have a very stable handstand. And what you need to do is make sure you're tucking in your legs and you're just exploding up. And you'll be just a little bit off the ground each time, okay? From that, you can get into so many things. Clapping ones, you can get into do the scissor legs, okay? So there are a lot of variations that you can do it. So I'm going to demonstrate you how, first of all, two-handed hand hops. Okay, so what you have noticed is when you're doing two-handed hand hops, you need to tuck your leg in first of all. Then you're just going to pop up. Okay, Today we're going to have a look at how to do this is a multiple movement as one. Okay, so all the things that we have learned, we're going to put it together. So we're going to have backwards roll, roll with no hands, to knee up, and to tuck jump. Okay, and you do it as a reps, how many you can do. So I'll show you how it looks like. Okay, so again, this movement will make you very agile. Okay, and if you do those for sets, again, very good for core, powerful legs. Okay, good for stance, building for stance as well. You can make it a real scenario based, like for example, you can go down like this. Okay, and make it real scenario, like as if you're fighting, just by having your back leg backwards as well, so it looks like a stance. So this is again good for quick movement, quick thinking, explosive movement to build your legs and your whole body and your core especially. Okay, so very good, very strong and powerful movements that you can do. Takes a lot out of you in cardio, and at the same time develop strong muscles. Thank you. Hello, today we're going to look at how to use 3 for high functional exercises, which I'm going to show you in together as a combination to build powerful legs and core and body. Okay, so we're going to have a look at using Bronco, have a look at the Bronco tutorial, and we're going to look at back flick and front flicks. Okay, front leg flicks that we're going to use. So it will look like this. Okay, now if you notice, we could do this as reps, so you can do again, as I said, have one really good, make sure you have one solid, and then you can build it as repetition to fire up your muscles. Okay, so I'll demonstrate it again so you can have a look. Now, it really gets you tired quickly, so make sure you breathe as well while doing it. Okay, so again, as I said, have each of these movements really clean. Okay, then you can start putting them into ones, into twos, like and then now you can do 3. Okay, so it's like a jigsaw puzzle. The more fitter you are, the more powerful you are, and the more confident you are in terms of linking these advanced movements, the more stronger you'll become. But make sure that you're good with the foundation before you even start to combine into your movements. Then you can do the reps with it and so on, and build on your powerful muscles as well. Today we're going to learn how to use 2 advanced functional exercises. Example would be the front flicks, okay, into Bronco. Okay, so it should look like this. Now, as you can see, you need to react straight away in any of these sort of advanced functional exercises. Sort of, you can say a high intensity workout, but it's a high intensity workout with sort of functional exercises that you're moving with it. So first of all, you need to make sure you have it down to a T. Keep a posture needs to be solid, and then, as I said, in order to do the reps, you can first aim for, one, at least do a 1 solid 2 functional exercises, and then you can move on to 2, 3, and have more reps built into it. Again, today we're going to have a look at how to do a 2 combination movement. Again, 2 high functioning exercises as one. Okay, as we what I've noticed is when you play with movements in 2, it's very easy to do it as reps and linking it, because it with the functional exercise, when it's in 2s, it flows very nicely and very quickly. So today's 2 functioning exercises that we're going to link in together is a tuck jump and a forward roll. Okay, so I'm going to demonstrate how it should look like. Okay, so when you're doing it, make sure that you're not doing it on concrete. Okay, you're doing it on grass and so on. You could start doing on concrete. That's a good way of training as well, but you need to be you need to have control, like how I've done it, in order to execute it. Otherwise you're going to have a lot of injuries. So make sure that you do it on grass. Do not, or something that is soft, to try on, like on a mat and so on, before you can develop confidence to try on hard surfaces. Okay, so now I'll show you how you can actually link it. Okay, so you can actually do it as many as you like. Okay, but make sure that your form is clean, and once you're getting tired, please stop. Otherwise you're going to be not working the right muscles, and you're not going to develop that muscle memory of that explosiveness. Okay, so again, I'll demonstrate how you can link it. You can do it afterwards. You can start putting in reps into it. So here it is: tuck jump to forward roll. Now today we're going to look at how to put nearly everything that we have learned in terms of the roll with no hands, coming back on our feet, tuck jumps, all the more explosive and jumping scenarios with rolls as well. Okay, so this is what I would say the ultimate sort of movement, animal-like movement that you can now start mixing. So I'll show you a demonstration. Okay, second again. Okay, so that's an example of putting it all together. So today we're going to have a look at how to mix the functional exercises. They're sort of advanced movements. It's kip up and bronco. We're going to put that together, have a look at the tutorials on the kip up and bronco to make it into a workout. So if you actually try even 5 of these, they're quite tricky to do. So I'll show you how it should look like. Okay, so if you can see, you need to have two of these movements. You need to definitely know how to do kip-ups, and you need to know how to do a bronco. Okay, so these movements are quite advanced movements, but you can use the combination of this as one workout. Okay, so this is a more like an advanced HIIT movement, high intensity workout. But even if you do 5 of those or 10 of those, rest, do it again, rest, do it again. You can do reps, maybe 5 reps and so on. That's a workout itself, and it will make sure the emphasis will be the whole body, especially on the core. You'll have very strong arms and core for this. Thank you. Right, so what we're going to do today is, as you've seen, make sure you have a look at the knee up tutorial. We're going to mix the knee up and the rolls. So before you do this movement, it's an added layer. So it's added layer of difficulty. So make sure you have mastered the 4 different rolls, the roll scenarios where we did the 4 roll, backward roll, side roll, side roll. Now we're going to add a knee up and the rolls with it. Okay, this is how it should look like. Okay, so as you can see, you need to have the knee up. First you need to do this. Make sure you'll have flat, completely flat, and make sure you come up first on your toes. Okay, have a look at that tutorial first. Now when you do that, you first just practice that into 4 row. So do this into 4 row. Okay, eventually when you got that rhythm and that momentum, you can add with the backwards roll, with the side roll, and so on. So I'll show you how it looks like again. Okay, now these will help you in the street scenario, and also to develop your quads and your abs and all your muscles for fighting practices. Okay, it's good for judo, jiu-jitsu, any sort of grappling moves, wrestling. These are great different sort of skills to use. Thank you. Today we're going to have a look at how to do a 4 combination high intensity movements. Now this movement is quite fun because it can be really quick. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to mix the front leg flick, back leg flick, and then into 4 row and into backwards row. Okay, so if you don't know each of these movements, you can take one of these movements out. So I'm going to show you all the 4 movements as a workout. Okay, so have a look. So today we're going to have a look at how to do pistol squats to one-legged push-ups. Okay, so what we're going to do first of all is you need to look at the tutorial on pistol squats with the backwards roll. Okay, once you do that, we're going to add it with another layer, which is the press up. But when you do the press up, you're going to do it with one leg, so it puts a lot of pressure onto your body. So I'll demonstrate how it looks like. Okay, so you can work, make sure you work both sides, left hand side and the right hand side. Okay, so how I'll break it down is this. It is a tricky movement, but what you want to do first of all is pistol squats, backwards roll, come up, and then from this leg, do not touch it, do not touch on the ground, straight away go into a burpee like this, and then come back up and down, up again, and then down, and then come back up. Okay, try to do it with the other leg now, same thing. Okay, so that I find it works the whole body. Okay, and it's great for core, very, very strong core movement. Thank you. So today we're going to learn how to do dragon flags. First of all, I'll show you how a dragon flag should look like. Now with dragon flags, this one's harder. No, make sure you find something where you can hold both. Okay, both of your hands. This is a much more advanced because I'm holding on to only one. So it puts more pressure onto the core. As you can see, this is a core and a back workout. Okay, something what Bruce Lee used to do. Okay, so Bruce Lee used to practice these hard workouts, dragon flags. Okay, very well known. The one that I did, which is just to stabilize it, where you just keep it static, is very, very difficult. Make sure when you start off that you're a little higher. Don't, as you bring lower and you're more parallel to the ground, it makes it very difficult to keep it there for long periods of time. Okay, so there are many ways you can build it. You can tuck it, you can do it with a tuck, but eventually start to do it with one leg, and then you can bring both legs together. So I'll demonstrate how you can practice dragon flags. So see if you can find two. I found a pole, so I'm going to show you with this pole only. So make sure you're comfortable sitting down, get close, make sure you have enough torquing power. So you hold it like this, hold in the hands, okay, to get the what's it called, the grip. Okay, first just do this. Get your back off. Make sure you extend your back and hold this position like this. Just hold it like that. Okay, see if you can do that. Or if you find it difficult, do these exercises. Just do crunches like that. Just do bring up and crunch. Bring up, crunch. Okay, just do this. And then eventually start to do this. Just move up, 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 up. Like this. Just move up with it. Now you can do it with straight legs. Just rock up, rock up, rock up. So loose, tighten, loose, tighten. Just keep on doing that, but make sure you keep it as straight as possible. Okay, that's the whole point. Try to keep it straight as possible. Once you become stronger and your core becomes a little bit more stronger, then you can start slanting it a little bit. Not fully, but slowly. Like this. But you can do it in a tuck position. So hold it like this. Make sure you're in a tuck position and bring it down slowly. Like this, slowly. Okay? So you can slowly bring in a tuck position. Once you're fine with holding with a tuck position for at least about 10 to 15 seconds, you should aim for at least about 20 seconds or so, then you can start doing with the single leg ones. So I'll show you how it looks like. So bring everything up like this. Make sure one leg is bent, one leg is straight. Now start to tilt. Tilt a little bit. And if you can see, okay? So if you do that, that's the next step. Okay, so first tuck, then one leg. Now, once you're happy with that, you can start bringing two legs together, which is what I demonstrated. Also, to help you, you can do ab workout with dragon flags as well. So instead of keeping it stabilizing it, which is very hard, you can do it like this as well. You can do crunches. You can do crunches with dragon flags, which is quite tricky. So you can go 1, then 2, 3, 4. Okay. So you can start, once you can stabilize it, then you can start working on crunches with it, which is quite tricky. So make sure you do it with progressions, as I've mentioned. Okay, go through these progressions, you will achieve your dragon flag.
Arm balance. In Sanskrit, Pincha Mayurasana. The arm balancing yoga poses are an advanced poses. This particular one helps you with the blood flow throughout your body. It calms your mind and it strengthens your arms. If you yet cannot do it as shown, you can always use the wall for support and the benefits are the same.
Today we're going to have a look at on how to do the elbow handstand. This move is very famous in acrobatics, also gymnastics and yoga, elite yoga. It was superior in terms of balance and coordination. They do this movement. Okay, so I'll first demonstrate how to do the move. I'll first demonstrate it and then I'll break down how to get elbow handstand. Okay, so as you can see, it is a lot of core and it requires a lot of strength as well at the same time, and balance. Okay, and it gives you a good blood rush as well, a lot more than what handstands can do. Okay, I find it a little bit more trickier than handstand, but I'll show you how to get used to it. So first of all, make sure you have a good solid handstand as well before you do elbow handstand, because they're a lot harder. Okay, so look at my handstand tutorial before attempting elbow. Now, if you have a good headstand as well, that helps. But what you're going to do is modify a little bit from the headstand. Watch the headstand as well before you go into the forearm. Okay, so what I'm going to show you first of all is go into headstand, but also have your elbow with it. And now you're going to walk your leg up and slowly kick up and balance. Okay, so if you can do that, then you can now start to work on your elbow handstand. Also, I would say make sure you have a strong bridge as well, because if you fall down from an elbow handstand, at least you can go into bridge or you can roll out. So here what I'm going to show you. So first of all, go down. The breakdown of elbow handstand. Have your elbows comfortably placed, shoulder width. Okay, not too wide, not too low. Okay, some people do it like this, but I prefer, it's nice to have a strong base. So make sure it's shoulder width apart. Now, have your leg up like this. Okay, get into the down dog position. Now from here, you're going to just, as how you're learning the handstand, start kicking. And you feel your core. So what you need to do, kick and balance. So kick and join your leg together. Kick, join the leg together. Again, kick, join the leg together and balance. You might go like this, you might go into, but you see, if you have a bridge, you can go up. Okay, even if you have a bridge, or you can roll out. So if suppose you miss your elbow handstand, you can at least go into forward roll. Okay, so you could probably, let's say you do it here and you overpower it and you go, oh my god, at least you can roll from it. So make sure you learn, make sure you have a nice forward roll as well. I'll show you what forward roll is. This, if you can do this, you'll minimize the chances of injury, because you'll not land on your neck, you'll roll straight away rather than creating injury. So I would say, first of all, just get used to doing it safely. Okay, and to getting the movement is not the hard bit. It's to be consistent and actually doing it properly. So you'll start off, you might not have the straightaway, you might not have the elbow handstand, but you can build towards it. So again, kick, hold it, and then go down. Okay, if you overpower it, go into forward roll. So here, oh, forward roll. So you have the safety measures there as well, and you have the knowledge to actually save yourself and at the same time do it professionally. Okay, and I'll show you again the elbow handstand before we call it the end. Okay, that's elbow handstand. So today we're going to learn how to do a headstand to a handstand, or handstand to a headstand. Now this is a combination movement where you're putting the two movements together. You need to have a solid headstand and you need to have a solid handstand. Okay, so a good, really good controlled headstand and a really good controlled handstand. So I'll demonstrate what a good handstand and what a good headstand should look like. So for a handstand, again, control, okay, and a good headstand. Now, once you have those two controlled like this, you can start doing, it's called a blowout combination, where you actually go from one move to the other. Okay, now this requires a bit of strength and quite a bit of technique and balance. So what you need to do first of all is make sure when you're in your headstand, you're in a tuck headstand position. Okay, and controlled, you're not moving. You need to have a very good controlled headstand, and then from there you're just going to learn, going to try to kick. Okay, you're just going to use your core and your legs to go, and you're just going to kick your leg up. What you're going to do is going to kick your leg up and you're going to push with your arms simultaneously. So you need to do it together at the same time. Okay, so first of all I'm going to show you how the kick should look like. Okay, so can you see I'm just kicking my legs in the air at the moment, but I need to kick my legs in the air and at the same time use the leg motion to put me up into handstand. Okay, at first go you might not have enough balance or strength in maybe strength to actually get yourself up into handstand, but with over time, with muscle memory and using the correct technique, you'll be able to do it quite quickly. Okay, so I'm going to show you how it should look like. Show it again. So this is what a control headstand to handstand should look like. Okay, so you should go in a tuck headstand and then kick up. Okay, so did you notice I compressed all my my tuck, and then from there I kicked up from using my core and my leg from headstand straight into handstand. Okay, now I can do the same thing with handstand to headstand. Now with that one it's a little trickier because you're going from up to down movement. It requires a bit more control. It's easier in certain way, but it's still difficult. However, headstand to handstand requires more power because you're pushing away from gravity. Okay, so you're pushing all of your weight and you're balancing, so it's a little difficult in some way, but I'll show you how a handstand to a headstand you could do. So you need to pop your leg first before handstand and then go into headstand. Okay, so did you notice what I did was it's a little pop, but it allows you to go straight into headstand, and then you do it again. And then once you have the balance, did you see where I started going up and down, headstand to handstand, headstand to handstand? This is a good workout for anything, for breakdancing, just to get into shape, calisthenics. Okay, it works out all your muscles, and it's pretty effective in having a good having a good core. Okay, so it's a great core, shoulder, it's a whole body workout. Okay, so that is headstand to handstand. Now what we're going to do is all the different types of rolls that we have learned, we're going to incorporate into our workout. So once you have mastered to roll easily, there's no point of doing this if you haven't mastered all three movements: the backward roll, the forward roll, and the side roll. Okay, make sure that you got those down perfectly before you can start putting them together. Okay, so any of these composite type of moves that is more than one different type of movements where you're working out, make sure that you've got all of them down properly. So here, this is what it should look like. We're going to do a forward roll, backward roll, side roll, side roll. Okay, so okay, you can, once you got one rep down, you can do this as many as you can until you've perfected your movements, and also it'll be a good functional workout. So I'll demonstrate it again. Okay, and those are the roll workouts. Thank you.
legs up the wall pose, or also known as the shoulder stand, in Sanskrit called Viparita Karani. It reduces insomnia. So if you have problems with sleeping, this is a great asana, the pose, to help you with insomnia. So if you have a difficult time sleeping at night, this is a great asana to practice. Try laying on your back with your leg against the wall. If you cannot do it if you cannot do it, you can use the support of the wall. This easy pose allows blood and other fluids to flow in the opposite direction against gravity, which can refresh the legs and reproductive organs. It can also help to alleviate headaches, lower blood pressure, and even reduce insomnia.
So today we're going to have a look on how to do a shoulder stand. A shoulder stand is a gymnastics movement, but also incorporated in yoga. So I'll demonstrate how it looks like first of all. Okay, now as you can see, it requires a lot of balance, a lot of core strength, because you're trying to keep it straight. That's the idea, you need to keep it straight. But if you can't, that is fine for now, but your aim is to keep your shoulder stand straight. Now, I'll go through the movement, how to do it. First of all, go down. Make sure you have the basics, you're comfortable by doing this. That is a prerequisite. If you can do that, now move on to go up. You might be here. Start to push your leg up. Push it up. You can keep it. If you're finding it difficult, tuck your leg. So you can do a tuck shoulder stand. Okay. As you get comfortable, start to straighten it out and try to keep it straight. Anytime you go a bit away, try to position it upwards and push up. So you might, your back is here. Okay. Try to straighten your back. Okay. And that is shoulder stand. Hello, today we're going to have a look at how to do a cartwheel, axe cartwheel to axe cartwheel. Now, in order to do axe cartwheel to axe cartwheel, you need to make sure that you have good cartwheel. Okay, so cartwheel that we're looking at, the 3 types of cartwheel, have a look at the cartwheel tutorial, but this is for a workout. So we're going to do cartwheels. Make sure you learn it on both sides. Okay. Also, today we're going to focus on front to back cartwheel. Okay, so it should look like this, the front to back cartwheel. Now we're going to do it on both the sides. It should look like this. First of all, what I would like you to do is make sure that you do that side to side, front to back cartwheel plenty of times, both sides. That basically works your sides and your core. Okay, eventually we're going to do that with an axe kick, so it will look like this. So today we're going to have a look at how to do a side roll, both sides. Okay, in order to have a good I'll first demonstrate how a side roll should look like. Okay, again. Now, in order to do a good side roll, you need to make sure that you use one of your shoulder to roll onto. So for example, get into the squat position like this. Okay. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to drop one of your shoulder, tuck your head in, because you're not going to roll on your head. You're rolling on the top of your shoulder like this. And then what you're going to do is going to break the fall. And from here, when you're in this position, upside down, you're going to push over and come here like this. That's a side roll. Okay, so again, practice. So comprises of two sections. First, to get onto your back. Secondly, to come over. So again, drop on your shoulder, side shoulder. You're halfway there. You're here, and now you're going to not use your hand, but from your core, push up, and you're on your side. That's a side roll. Okay, and then you might be good at training just one side, but you have to train both sides so that your body becomes used to with all different types of movements, and you're better adapted for any sort of combat sport or any other sports that requires the rolls and so on. Okay, so again, let me demonstrate how it looks like. Okay, so drop the shoulder, come up. Okay, that's this side. Now you're gonna go on the other side, drop the shoulder and roll here. Okay, that's a side roll. Okay. So today we're going to have a look at how to do a tuck jump. First of all, let me demonstrate what a tuck jump should look like. Again. Okay, now in order to do a good solid tuck jump, make sure you first of all practice a straight jump like this. Okay, make sure your hands are there, you're sitting, and extend and come down. When you're landing, make sure you land on your balls of your feet. So again, here, and straight, and land. Okay, same again, land. So when you're doing it, you're landing straight onto your legs when you're doing it. Nextly, we're going to be looking at how to do a straight jump with a tuck added to it. So again, when you're doing it, you want to make sure that your tuck touches the chest. You're trying to aim to make sure that your knee comes to your chest. So you can do this again. Now tuck jump comprises of 3 movements: the set, the shape, and then the land. Okay, so first you need to concentrate on to get the height. Then you want to bring your knee to your chest and you're grabbing your knees. Okay, so for a good practice that you can do is you can do a cradle like this. Try to do this. Okay, practicing cradle so that you're developing that shape, the ball shape in the air. Okay, that's your number 2, and then you open into landing. So 1, 2, 3. Again. 1, 2, 3. Okay. 1, 2, 3. And again. That tuck jump. Today we're going to look at how to do climber jacks. Now I'll show you what a climber jacks should look like. Okay, this. Okay, as you can see, climber jacks, you need to be in an elbow plank position, and you're just doing V sort of splits while you're doing this movement. Okay, it's quite advanced as well, very good for the core. You're bound to actually your back will start to arch. Make sure your back is solid. You're keeping your abdominal muscles tight while doing this movement. What I'll recommend to first do it in a press up position, doing it like this. Before you go into the actual climber jacks, do it with the press up position. Okay, first get used to doing it in a press up position. A lot more, it's easier. As you become stronger, make sure you do it with elbow. Okay, that will be the proper climber stacks. Now this movement, you need to, again, as I said, first do 5, then get up to 10 of these, rest a bit, then you can start adding reps to it. Okay, you can do each movement, rest for about 10-20 seconds, do it again. Okay, it's explosive, and eventually you can then do it up to 30 seconds, do as many as you can, and then when you advance, you can do it non-stop right till the music ends. Okay, which lasts about 2 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes of doing this. So this is an awesome workout for having strong abdominal muscles and just to engage the whole body as well. Right, so today we're going to have a look at how to do alternate legs, alternate hands switches while you're actually not sitting on your backside, but you're in a position where you're going to really engage your core and actually make it a really fun exercise to do. Again, as you said, make sure you're good with in terms of keep the quality. Your form is very important. So first I'll demonstrate how it looks like. Okay. Now if you notice, it's very vital that you're quick in your movement, alternating, switching your hands and your legs, but you need to make sure that you have your hips as high as possible, because that will do wonders if you can actually do that. So if you have your hips more up, it will engage your core and back a bit more. This is a core exercise and actually develops your shoulder area as well, because you need to stabilize yourself. So it's a balanced core workout. Okay, maybe, or also to get used to it, you can just do crabs. So I'll show you what a crab should look like. Keep your hips up, move up, and just move backwards. Okay. Okay, get used to the crabs. Once you can do a crab, you can start then doing the movement that I showed you before, where you alternate your hands and your legs. So you touch your hands, touch the toes while you're stabilizing yourself. So it's a great movement for the core. Thank you.
It's a crow pose called in yoga, in Sanskrit, it's called Bakasana. It strengthens the wrist, forearms, and abdomen while also stretching the hamstring. Balance is crucial for this pose. It tones the abdominal wall, strengthens abdominal organs to aid in lower back pain and indigestion. Strengthens the arms, strengthens and stretches the back, stretches and strengthens inner thighs, opens the groin, builds endurance and focus, mental focus and calm.
So today we're going to look on yoga how to do a frog stand. This is a great strength balance movement. Okay, first I'll show you what the movement is. Okay, as you can see, the frog stand, it requires a lot of core stability and it requires good balance. So I'll go through each of the movements in detail to make it as easy as possible. So first of all, get down in this position. That's the first position. Okay, look how my heels are off the ground. Secondly, place firmly your hands on the ground like this. Now, this is where the tricky part comes in. Okay, this is where a lot of people get it wrong. What you need to do is it not just hop over. You don't just go in the hope of trying to do it. What you need to do is place your elbow closely to your knee. And when you do that, when it's touching, it needs to touch. Because you don't hop on it. You make sure it has a touch throughout. Then you bring your body, your whole body forward. Automatically your feet will start coming off the ground. So I'll demonstrate. So I'm here. Watch, my head needs to come a little bit away from my legs. I try to, and as you can see, my feet are already projecting outwards and I'm off the ground. And then I can put it back down. Depends on how strong you are and how good your balance is. If you can do it for a little but like 1 or 2 seconds, fine. You'll develop the skill and you'll develop the balance slowly. Okay, but it is not a hopping. You're not hopping into it. I see many people try and they hop into it. All you're doing is place your hands, bring your body forward. Okay, and automatically, due to anatomy of your body, you will balance. So you do this, bring your body forward, bring all your weight is coming forward, and slowly you can see you can leave the ground, you can put it back on, leave the ground. So you're in control all the time. And then once you've got the balance, hold it, breathe, hold the balance until you can hold it, and slowly place it down. Okay, now it depends on how much you practice this, you'll be able to hold. So this is it's a much more advanced movement. So what I would say is you're aiming to at least hold it for about 10 seconds. If you can hold it for 10 seconds, then you can easily hold it for longer because you've got the balance down. Okay, so in starting it will look like this, and then you just come down. It might be frustrating that, oh, why can't I hold it? But over time, if you just focus on bringing your body forward, you'll know the right movement for balance. This is perfect for building forearms, okay, core, balance, and all the movement. So that is frog stand. Thank you.
Halasana, plow pose. It improves digestion and appetite, effective in weight loss, strengthens the abdominal muscles, beneficial for diabetic people. It helps to make spinal cord strong and flexible, cures the symptoms of menopause for women. It helps to reduce stress.
So today we're going to have a look on how to do to work out the core and also the stretch in terms of your quads and your legs and from your hamstrings. Okay, so here's the stretch. I'm going to demonstrate. Okay, so make sure you hold this position for at least 30 seconds to a minute. It's a nice back stretch. Okay, it works your core muscles as well. You might not be able to do it all the way straight and all the way back, but try to go as far as possible to see how flexible you are. Okay, so you might go, you can start off on your back like this, go on your back, okay, go on your back, and from here you can use this as a grip if you find it difficult. Now try to push, and you can bend your leg as well. You don't have to keep it straight. Try to touch your toes. If you can't, if you're in the air as well in this position, that's fine, okay, but if you can, you want to make sure you touch your toes and keep your legs straight. If you can do that, that is a great stretch. Okay, as I said, hold the position, that position for at least a minute. That's what you're aiming for, and you can feel a nice stretch on your back.
Salab Asana, locust pose. It helps to reduce the abdominal fat and tone the abdomen. It helps to strengthen your back muscles. It helps in repairing your entire spinal cord and replenishes it. It strengthens your neck muscles, rectifies neck pain, and repairs defects in the neck joints.
Today we will look on how to do Superman. It is good for your back. It is good for your lower back especially. So I'll show you how to do the move first of all. Lie on your back and then arch. Okay. Use your hand up as well like this or here. So arch as much as you can. Do it for about 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. So I'll show you what I'll demonstrate. Lie on your back. Gently raise your legs, your heels off the ground, and if you find it difficult to do your body to leave, you can leave your hands first here and just stretch your back. If it makes it, this is the easy version, but the harder version is if you leave your hand off the ground like that. Okay, so that's the harder one. I would say if you have, very good for your spine, very good for your lower spine, but if you have problems with your lower spine, make sure you first of all consult the doctor before you do this exercise, because it puts a bit of pressure on your back. So your spine is very important, so make sure your spine is strong enough to do this exercise. Okay, now I'll demonstrate again. There are many variations you can do. You can do one with one hand, one leg, opposite hand, opposite leg, like a Superman. Change. Okay, all the variations, and that is Superman. Lever, which is also very useful for yoga. Okay, it's a good strength hold position, a good balance position. So it looks like this. Out, leg out, can there. Now, the technique of it to do it, if you're struggling from it, get into, first of all do this, okay? Second, hand out. Third, get one leg out and one leg out. And if you can see, my body's not arching. It needs to be straight. Get your scapula, tense your scapula, and tense on your core muscles. Like this. Okay, do you see scapula out? It's not that. Scapula out. Tense on your core. And look straight. Okay? You want to hold this position for at least a minute. Hold at least for a minute, and then you can do longer if you can. Okay? So I'll demonstrate. Very simple. Legs out, scapula out, and focus on the core. normally. If you breathe, you'll last longer. Don't hold your breath. Just do it as normal. And focus on your core. Make sure it's strong. Okay? Make sure it's not too high like this or too low like that. But you need to have a strong base like this. And focus on the core and your scapula, your shoulders stretching out. Okay? And that is front lever.
Dhanur asana is a bow pose. So when you do archery, the bow is Dhanush asana. Dhanur asana improves the posture and spinal flexibility. Additionally, the pose helps to open the chest, abdomen, quadriceps, ankles, groin, hip flexors, and throat. Energizes and invigorates the body, mind, and spirit. Bow pose also helps to relieve fatigue, stress, and anxiety.
So I'm going to show you how to do a reverse bridge. First of all, get into this position, lie at the front. Now hold both the sides. See if you can do this first. Once you find this comfortable, arch your back and hold the position, breathe. Hold it for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Okay, make sure you do that and also counter the stretch. Whenever you arch, you need to fold so that you can counter the stretch.
In English, it's called bridge. You'd see in gymnastics and in yoga too. In yoga, in Sanskrit, it's called Bandha Sarvang Asana. The bridge yoga pose is a great front hip joints opener. It also strengthens your spine, opens the chest, and improves your spinal flexibility in addition to stimulating your thyroid. This pose brings many benefits to your body, such as the relief from stress, anxiety, insomnia, and it can help with depression.
Today we're going to have a look on how to do a bridge. In yoga, this is a good stretch to stretch out your core and your shoulders. Okay, so I'll show you on how to do a bridge. First of all, make sure you go down in this position. Okay. Now, if you're finding it difficult to stretch out, what you can do is do little by little. So do just bend your arms a little bit, okay, and then hold it for 5 to 10 seconds. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, down. Okay, and then always hug yourself again like this. And the reason you do that, it's called cradle, is so that you counter the movement, because the one was arch and then you just turn yourself into a ball so that you align your spine properly. So again, don't rush into doing a proper bridge. If you don't have the flexibility, make sure you do it little, okay, and then do it for at least, increase the time limit up to 20 seconds, 10 to 15. Eventually, once you're fine with that and you're happy with it, then now you can do a proper bridge. So when you do it, your foot should be, both of your feet needs to be firmly placed on the ground. Okay, your hands flat this way on the ground. Okay, as you can see, and then simultaneously you push. Okay, keeping your feet flat. Now you can keep it pointed as well if you want, but that's harder. So you can challenge yourself. Okay, and then do the ball cradle. Okay, so hold the bridge for at least 10 seconds, a proper bridge, then increase the timing, because this is a great strength hold, a great way to stretch out your core muscles and actually gain some core muscles as well. And it will stretch out your back and your just the whole upper body, okay, nicely. So it's a nice strength exercise. I'll show you again. Make sure you go firstly on the ground. Okay, make sure your feet are firmly touching the ground, your hands flat, and then push from the core. Okay, if you can't do it, do this drill. Just bring it up like this. Bring your tummy up, down, tummy up, and then push up. Okay, again, as I'll show you, tummy up. Okay, first you can practice this, and then now straighten your arms. And then you can go on your toes as well to feel the stretch more. Come down, again, rolling. Now there are advanced variations to the bridge as well. You can have one leg out while you're doing a bridge as well. So I'll show you an example. If you find bridge quite simple and you want to progress further with it, then you can go down again. Okay, so if you can easily do the bridge that I've showed you for over 30 seconds, if you can hold it, or even more, then start doing variation like this. Okay, hold it, you just have one leg up and toes pointed. Okay, and so that is bridge for yoga.